Hey, so it's going to be a bit of a heat wave in Sydney town today. We're going to be reaching a top about 39 degrees. These kind of days, there's only one thing you got to do. That's watch a Hellraiser movie. Admittedly, I'm a little bit nervous. The last 7 or 8 movies in this series have not been very good, so I'm going to reserve judgment. See what I did? Until I watch this thing, which I'm just about to do now, and yeah, I'll get back to you in a moment. Please don't suck too badly. Okay, so, wow, that was a piece of shit. Straight off the top, awful. The Hellraiser movies pretty much peaked with the first one. The second one, yeah, was okay, but everything then, from then on, has just been absolute trash. I was hoping that this one would be okay because the trailer looked promising. It looked like it was well shot. It looked relatively attractive. And it looks like a telly movie, right? Don't get me wrong, but it looks like a good looking telly movie at least. There is some good use of filters in this. Okay, I'll try and give you a plot summary, right? It's kind of hard to give a plot to something where you've just watched it and you don't really know what you've just watched. Essentially, 3 cops, 2 brothers and a lady cop. They're investigating a serial killer who is leaving bodies all over a city not named. Turns out the killings, no surprise, are related to hell, right? So, yeah. And that's all I got out of it. The Hellraiser part of this movie is pretty much non-existent. I mean, Pinhead. This is a Hellraiser with Pinhead as a glorified cameo. He's barely in this. Yeah, it's a different actor now. Doug Bradley, he's up there with Robert Englund and Kane Hodder, Gunnar Hansen. He was iconic in the role of Pinhead. Granted, the movies he was in, he wasn't really given much opportunity to do anything really marvelous with the role. He was good in the role, and yeah, he made it his own, but the surrounding stories of Pinhead were just shit, with the exception of part 1. Just shit. Every subsequent movie from part 2 on has just been really bad. And it's a shame to say, like, I can sit down and watch a bad movie, no problem. I love bad movies. They're my bread and butter. I have a laugh at them. And yeah, that's fine. Like, not every movie's gonna be like Gone with the Wind, which is a good movie, by the way, if you got 4 or 5 hours of your day to spend watching it. See what I've done? I'll put a reference to Gone with the Wind in a Hellraiser review. Not really going to go through the cast list either, because there's no one in this that you've ever heard of before, except for Paul T. Taylor. He gets a mention only because he's taken over the role of Pinhead from Doug Bradley. He was fine. He looked more like Pinhead than the previous guy in Revelations, which I don't really remember much about because that was just atrocious as well. Yeah, you look like him. This movie was not gruesome in any way either. For a Hellraiser movie, the shock factor, the special effects, the gore, well, in the first one, was good. You got Frank in the first movie who was skinless, and the special effects on that guy, back in a movie made back in 1987, surpass anything done in this. Like, the makeup's fine, but we don't really get any of the gore effects or anything that kind of warrants a Hellraiser movie title. It's obviously been cut to shit. So for all you gorehounds out there looking to get a Hellraiser fix, don't really bother with it because there's none of that in there. There's, like, for instance, there's a scene towards the end where her Pinhead is got chains in one of his victims, and he starts taking the nails out of his head and pushing them into the face of the victim. But it's all cutaway shots. You just see him pulling his nails out, and then you'd see blood dripping onto the person's shirt, and it's just all cutaway stuff like that. It wasn't graphic, and yeah, it was really lame. Because when you watch a horror movie, you want the shock factor, you want the gore to be in it to make it worth your while, and this really wasn't. It was boring. Oh, such a shame to say because I wanted to like it. Like I said, the trailer looked promising. The cinematography in this looked decent. The performances were okay. I mean, it's better than previous installments, definitely, but still no way in hell is it a good movie. It's just not really worth anybody's time. Hellraiser either needs to be just buried, put it to rest, because these sequels are just crap and not worthy of the title Hellraiser. I have heard them mentioning possibly rebooting it. I hear this one was actually meant to be a reboot. So they really need to consider going down that pathway, only if they get fantastic direction, fantastic talent in front of the camera and behind it. Get Doug Bradley back into the role. He's still young enough to do it. Well, I don't know, is he? Robert Englund's hung up his glove, so maybe Doug Bradley's got no interest to come back. I know he's been approached for the last couple and he's just said no. If we're going to get somebody replacing an iconic horror creation, then yeah, do it right. Reboot it, start again, but just do it right, man. Make it scary, creepy, and gory and horrific, because it's hell. Don't keep pushing this drivel onto us, honestly. Damn. I mean, look at this, guys. Brilliant. First one. Classic. Watch this, because it's entertaining and scary. It's gritty. It's done on the cheap, yeah, but it has that look and feel about it which just makes it really creepy and atmospheric. And Doug Bradley first turns up as Pinhead. Man, Creepsville. Awesome flick. Part 2. Decent follow-up. A direct continuation of the first one. A lot of the characters from the first one return in this one, or the ones who survive. Okay, does get a little bit weird at the end, but it's okay, it's worth a watch. Where's 3? I don't even have part 3 to show you. I don't know where it is. I'm pretty sure I own it, but it doesn't matter anyway, because I don't think I'm ever going to watch it again. And then I got this little nifty 4-pack on Amazon. It's part 4, 5, 6, and 7. Well, I can see why it was a 4-pack, because this isn't worth your money at all. You want to get 4 movies for the price of 1, then go right ahead. And if you're a collector, then yeah, pick it up if you want to get all the series for some reason. And here we go. So this is the last one in the franchise. I hope. Please don't make any more. Like I said, either reboot it or just put it to rest, because Pinhead deserves better than this. Gonna rate it? Really? You want me to rate this? 1 out of 10. Simple. Just 1 out of 10, because yuck. Horrible flick. Anyway, guys, that was my review on Hellraiser Judgement. Don't watch it. Save your pennies. And I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hey, yeah, just a quick add-on. Here's Hellraiser 3. I found it because, thank God.